Yep. Hey, there we are. There
Wow, hey,
we are.
wow.
Here
Go
we go.
figure.
Yeah. Man, that was
That was
that
awesome.
was great. I thought John and our conversation together was outstanding. But we are live on the program. And John was bringing up the fact that Wednesday is his least favorite day of the week. There's no popular songs like when there's Manic Monday, Monday. There's Friday, I'm in Love, from The Cure, Tuesday Afternoon from the Moody Blues.
Wednesday's just I don't know. Thursday's a little better, but Wednesday is just there again. We're kind of like, just there again. Looking there, been there.
You can be unproductive and still be looking back and going, man, golly, how did I not get that half a point?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Or why didn't somebody tell me the quarterback broke up with his girlfriend the night before the game?
And how come the Rockies couldn't scratch over one more run? More on that later.
So, but you can sit there, and evidently some people are, and looking back, but you're not yet at the point where you can say, okay, here we are. We're back at it. Here we go. Because there's no games till tomorrow. The games tomorrow ain't great, but you're in that little no man's land.
Good way to describe it.
Sit there yesterday and the day before, and it doesn't do any good. But, man, you're not yet to that scintillating Dolphins-Bills matchup.
Yeah. Which I can promise you.
Name the score.
I'll be watching that over Rice at Charlotte. Nothing against Luganville, but don't think I'm going to be watching Rice, a team Alabama's never beaten before. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
To put it, Luganville would be the only reason why John would even tune to that game.
Sure.
Just because we love Lugs.
I think this is where the Charlotte practice field. That's about all I know about them. That's about all I can tell you.
It's a beautiful stadium, beautiful campus. I've been to the stadium, but I hadn't been there during a game. I took a little tour. And Rice runs that funky. What did he called it, like the option wing tee or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Be kind of good.
And then they're shamelessly wasting my time. Well, no, they're not, because I'm not going to give them a minute of my time. Tulsa at Oklahoma State. If they fired the coach at Oklahoma State yet, how in the world that guy still has a job is a miracle. He has been there for like ever. And I'm thinking, are they ever going to fire this guy? I mean, he's never done anything. I don't get it. He just rants about being 40, and that was 20 years ago.
Yes.
At Rutgers, please.
That's on Fox. Didn't Fox have anything on Friday night? I guess not.
Yeah, Dancing with the Stars or something.
The point of order on this one is every time, and we don't do it a lot, every time we mention the word rice, what's your favorite rice? Rice pilaf? Do they still make Uncle Ben's berry? Rice University?
I think they've updated the photo on the box.
Yeah, I don't think they call him Uncle Ben anymore. But anytime we mention the word rice, John is obligated. It's in his contract where they demand that he let everybody know that Alabama has never beaten Rice.
True.
Well,
0-2.
Bill from Baltimore says, so if Alabama has never beaten Rice, when are they doing a 2-for-1 where they play Rice at Energy Stadium in Houston? The phrase that comes to mind there, Bill, that you'll hear is that ship has sailed.
Yeah, what conference is Rice in?
Where
do they play? Really? Bill, I wouldn't. So. I don't want a 2-for-1. Just play once. Just a little sentimental game. Just for old time's sake, but 3 games, forget it.
Great.
They made that mistake with South Florida, who's coming to Tuscaloosa next year, as is Florida State.
At least they are currently scheduled to come in.
Yeah.
At the moment, they're on the schedule to come too.
Yeah, Daniel says they're 0-3. I couldn't remember if they were 0-2 or 0-3. That's the Tommy Lewis ran off the bench and tackled the guy.
Tackled Dickie Magel, yeah. And people act like that's, he's too full of Bama. He blindsided the guy. He clocked him. He had no idea he was coming because he wasn't even on the field to play. And Bama fans are like, yep. Yeah, that's part of our illustrious heritage. And I'm thinking,
it's in the Bryant Museum. Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Is it?
Heck yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah.
That's what it takes.
The Tommy Lewis section there in the Bryant Museum.
Yeah.
But crap games tomorrow and Friday. A little Dolphin Bill. I'll check that out on Thursday. But back to Auburn. Barry, let's,
back to Auburn? Were we on Auburn?
Well, yeah. We were talking about the 3-0 start, heading out west to Norman. They're playing the number 11 ranked team in college football on Saturday, 2:30 ABC, prime window for the Tigers. They go to Norman and win. Jackson Arnold's homecoming, the fanfare. I can just see the headlines on the websites on Sunday if that happens. Then they regroup, pack the bags, head back out west to College Station, Texas. If they win those two with an off week, getting ready for Georgia, who will have beaten Alabama the week before. More on that in a moment. Man, how about that turnaround? How about that excitement? How about that giddiness? How about the tiger tails coming out of the trunks, the flags hanging out of the windows? Woo, man, get ready. Strap it on. Could be coming.
There's also going to be a significant portion of the population in this state are going to be like, I knew Oklahoma was no good. They stink. They would be 3-1.
Those reactions,
they stink. They're no good. Still hadn't played anybody. Oklahoma. Are you telling me a win over Brent Venables is a program maker for Hugh Freeze, and now what's the hype? Oh, they're on to win the national championship this year and everything? No. I don't think you're going to go anywhere
without that. Didn't they beat Temple last week? Give them a little credit. Man, they went on the road and beat the Temple Owls.
Yes.
Beat them pretty bad.
Well, do we know anything about Temple? Other than we know some people who went last weekend?
Temple,
This is when normally somebody will say, well, I know Paul Palmer ran all over Alabama when
I remember, I think he was a Heisman candidate, I want to say. Paul Palmer.
Something like that.
Something like that. Bama played him. Bama played Boston College and Temple when they had the two best players ever to dress out for those two teams. Now, Temple never beat Alabama to my recollection.
So yes.
Of course, Boston College swept the two-game series. That's why Greg needs to keep that one on the schedule later on. The little payback to the Golden Eagles. But Barry, if Auburn does, I can sense that it's kind of a tentative giddiness. Can you be tentatively giddy?
No, you're either giddy or you're not. That's like tentatively pregnant.
Yeah, I think, but I don't know. I feel the tentative giddiness coming out of the Auburn Nation.
Can we cheer about this? I mean, I got my toilet paper. Can we?
Yeah, they're only
throw it. Can we really throw it? Can we cut it loose, or do we just toss a couple of them up there, look around, and kind of slink away?
Oklahoma's a 7.5-point favorite of the game. That seems a little large for me. Maybe more on that later this week, but go out there and win. I'm just giving you the best case scenario. If they go win those two road games, Auburn's in the top 10.
Yeah.
If they do that, with Georgia coming to town for a night game at Jordan-Hare with the new pyrotechnic light show going on. Does the Eagle fly at night or just day games?
I think that's an album title. Wasn't that Night Ranger? 1988, does the Eagle fly at night? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the case.
Only a daytime game can the Eagle fly. Okay, so you're missing the Eagle flights. If somebody knows that, let us know on the River Region Straw chat line. And then you look at Bama going to Athens as an underdog, losing. I know I said earlier in the summer I thought Bama could go to Athens and win. Not so sure about that anymore. More on that as we get closer next week.
Yeah.
But if that scenario plays out, and then somebody asked me about the Georgia game last night. I was not expecting Alabama to have a loss this early in the season, but they do. And they certainly could have one next weekend.
Yeah.
2 losses in 4 games. With LSU and Tennessee and Auburn still left. Whew. How you going to scratch out 9 wins?
I had an interesting
8 wins.
I had an interesting day yesterday. Once again, I do this every year. My friend Rick Smith, who is the stadium voice at Jordan-Hare Stadium, I've known him for forever. He teaches a sportscasting class at Auburn, and every year they have me on via Zoom to talk with him. So I'm talking with the Auburn students and everything. Yeah. And right after that, while it's going on, I get a text from an Alabama buddy of mine, and he says, "Hey, call me when you get a chance." And it was a little while. I called him back, and we were talking about Alabama. I mean, I'm going the whole gamut in the space of about an hour and a half, talking with a bunch of Auburn students and talking Alabama. And we were talking about that, about what you're talking about, all of the different layers in the Georgia game, and make me feel good about it, Barry. I said, I don't know. And I said, I made a mistake because I had read this more than once from national writers who said something along the lines of, I can't look at Georgia these days under Kirby Smart and not be reminded of Alabama under Nick Saban. And I told him that, and he just about hung up on me.
Ooh.
He went Bob from Pike Road on me. The bull puppies are, they can't even sniff. I said, no, they're just saying that, they're big and strong on the line. They got skilled position players enough to do damage. They got extremely good coaching because they pay for it, and extremely good players because they pay for it and everything. That's the second time I've run into that. Bama fans hate to be compared.
I've heard the national guys say that.
Yes.
I think Kirby has tried to build his program like Saban.
There's no question.
I'm not sure his game day is the same as Saban. That's just my observation. But you can certainly tell the way he's built that program, the type of athlete that's on the field for Georgia is certainly similar. And he recruited a lot of those guys to Tuscaloosa. But
if Alabama goes to Georgia, wins that game convincingly, 2 things are going to happen. 3 that I know are going to happen. Ty Simpson's going to skyrocket to the top of the Heisman charts. There are going to be about 5,000 extra selfies with Tuska.
Well, the game's in Athens.
But still, I'm telling you, I know people are still going to be going, Tuska's going to be popular again. I ain't going to go get my picture taken in front of that brass elephant if you pay me.
No,
and the third thing is the Crimson Tide fans are going to be back. They're not back now. I mean,
they're not.
Wisconsin went over ULM. I'm telling you, the meat pole's going to be out, the Tide boxes, the toilet paper, the crimson and white striped overalls. I'm just telling you, they're going to be back.
There is some
like they've never left.
Where there's tentative giddiness from the Auburn Nation that I'm feeling. There is a I don't even know if it's tentative, but there is I don't want to say tentative concern. I think there is concern.
I do.
I mean, Lamo's terrible. Wisconsin, the only thing that impressed me was their defensive line. They're pretty good against the run. So Alabama's facing a really good team next up. And if they drop that game and they are 2-2 with Vanderbilt coming the next week who can run it all over the field, they've proven they can run it on anybody. Got to go to Missouri. Tough out there. They're a big favorite this week against South Carolina. Tennessee, who scores a lot of points. South Carolina, who's leaking oil. LSU, who certainly seems to be playing pretty well. Oklahoma, who we'll see more about them. And then Auburn at the end of the year. If they're 2-2 after 4, tell me how they're going to go any better than 8-4.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. I think you're right. On the morning of September the 29th, I'm just telling you, Bama fan will not be middle of the road. Bama fan will be like, well, that's all right. That gives us hope. They're either going to be sky high, or they're going to be, we got to fire DeBoer. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not ready for the SEC. Wasn't prepared for what he got himself in. There ain't going to be any middle ground. There's not going to be any calm, rational Bama fans at all.
And where did I say what? Cheez-It Bowl? Is that what I said yesterday? You think that
right before you said, where in the world is the Cheez-It Bowl?
You think that bowl game last year against Michigan was embarrassing? You wait till they run out there at the Cheez-It Bowl. And half the team is opted out.
John phrases it that way. Do you think that bowl game against Michigan, the reason why he says it that way is he cannot remember what the bowl game was?
Couldn't tell you. I'm not even sure what. I know it was in the state of Florida.
It might have been the Outback. It might have been the Citrus. Might have been the Gasparilla. Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
I'm with you there. But they got to be impressive. They got to beat some people. And looking at some of these teams that are already projected. I know it's early to make the playoffs. I think Alabama's got a lot of work to do if they're going to be one of those 12.
The rat poison people. Rat poison is still
it is rat poison. It is. Yeah. Hey, the Moneyline Magician, Josh Harris, going to join us at the bottom of this hour. At the start of hour number 2, our man Robert Kahn from Phoenix Physical Therapy. Got a lot of injuries we're going to ask Robert about today from over the past weekend. Some injuries and see how that's how those injuries are rehabbed and how these players can get back in the game. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News at the bottom of hour number 2.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC. The dreams that matter most.
3, 2, 1, it's here. Victoryland Casino's Corvette 25K giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drive away in a Corvette or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings October 3rd and 4th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, back at it here on hour number 1 on a Wednesday. That's what we're going to call it. Wednesday.
Let's go.
Robert Redford passed away. And what was that? Mark want to know our favorite Robert Redford movie?
Robert Redford was 89 years old. And, he had great genetics, one of the handsomest men in the world for just about 89 years. But a really good actor, really good director. And he directed one of my favorite movies. It's called, what was the name of it? Timothy Hutton and Mary Tyler Moore and Donald Sutherland. You guys look it up for me.
I know the movie you're talking about, but I can't think of the.
I read the book. Books by Judith Viorst, I think. Anyway,
I know the movie. I can't think of it.
Yeah. Anyway, he was the director of that movie. But Mark was asking favorite Robert Redford movie.
Yeah.
I got to go with The Natural.
Yeah.
The baseball movie with Wilford Brimley.
Mm-hmm.
Wilford Brimley was the manager of the New York Knights, and everybody called him Pops.
Pops.
And Robert Redford was an aging ball player just trying to hook on with this team. Last chance, da-da-da. Robert Redford was only 2 years younger than Wilford Brimley. That's one of my favorite pieces of movie trivia.
Interesting. I did not know that. I've seen Jeremiah.
Wilford Brimley looked like about 25 years older than Robert.
Yeah,
Redford.
Robert Redford had some blonde hair for a guy his age.
Yeah.
Ordinary People. Yes, that's the one.
Thank you. That's exactly it. I hate it when I get involved with something live on the show, and all of a sudden I can't think of it, and I've watched it and read the book over and over again.
How about Indecent Proposal with Demi Moore with the short
and Woody Harrelson?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
Excellent movie. Of course, The Sting. Jeremiah Johnson.
That's a good one.
Was good.
The thing about Indecent Proposal, if the guy's willing to pay $1 million, shouldn't he have bargained a little bit more and said, whoa, let's make it $2 million? I mean, you're willing to pay $1 million. I think you're willing to pay $2 million. Come on.
I don't know what you don't do. I would imagine. I wouldn't know, of course. What you don't do is say, I'll settle for $450.
No, you definitely don't do that.
Hey, man, that's.
Yeah. Whoa, that's trouble.
There's no future.
So I hated to hear that about the old Robert Redford.
Yeah,
he's a good actor, no doubt.
I liked, and skewer me if you want, I liked The Way We Were with Barbara Streisand.
That was kind of
That was a good movie. Great theme song.
Yeah, kind of a tearjerker.
Oh, yeah. He was a young, active, political conservative. This is in the 1930s, 1940s. Young, active, political conservative, and she was a dyed-in-the-wool liberal, and they fell in love and everything. I thought he was really good.
Was that true to life? Whew. It was on one side.
Yeah. Do you know Ty, yikes. So, I'm a big fan of Robert Redford. Loved him in The Sting. Loved him in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Good one.
Yeah, there's some but just his work in The Natural was really, really good.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one, too. Is there going to be some shakeup after this week? I'm telling you, I'm kind of sensing. I'm looking at the schedule. Obviously, Auburn and Oklahoma, the big game in the league. You think Greg Sankey's going to be out in Auburn this Saturday?
No, absolutely not. Where
Really?
will he be? No, he may be. What he needs to do,
Missouri and South Carolina.
That's what I'm thinking. He needs to be at a game where two SEC teams are playing against each other. Obviously, he ain't going to be at Auburn, Oklahoma. I've already said that. He ain't going to be.
That's two SEC teams. I mean, why not?
Yeah, but he ain't going to do that. He ain't going to be at Tennessee, UAB.
Florida at Miami?
Florida at Miami is my guess. Easy flight there.
Yeah. Well, maybe he goes to Miami to kind of lobby them a little bit if we're looking for a new league. That's not somebody I'd want to go after.
I'm not.
I'm moving all my chips to the center of the table and say Notre Dame or bust.
But
why not?
Georgia's off this week. Alabama's off this week. A&M's off this week. Kentucky's off this week. There are 4 teams out.
It's not the best.
What is the best? Is Auburn? Oklahoma,
no doubt.
The best game of the week?
I think so. I mean, it's the 2:30 game. And isn't that the number one matchup? I mean, there was a time, Barry, where people got frustrated and disappointed because there was one team in the league that seemed to play at 2:30 just about every week. I don't know if you remember that period.
On the Crimson Broadcasting System?
Yeah. So that's kind of where that's coming from. So that seems to be the number one game. You got what, number 21 versus number 11 or 22 versus 11?
22 versus 11, yeah.
Sure. There's not a matchup any better than that. You can't, a former SEC team going up against Ole Miss. Nah, Tulane at Ole Miss.
2 3-0 teams.
Still hadn't gotten over the last time Tulane went to Oxford. Gee whiz. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's the marquee game of the week. The night game, what's the SEC night game? Is it? I need to look at my schedule to see who's playing tonight.
It's the pickings. They got Florida, Miami at 6:30 on ABC. That's the SEC network has Sam Houston State at number 8 Texas. Sam Houston is one of 11 winless
I hope Arch
teams.
has a better day.
Yeah.
He stunk it up against that last juggernaut that they played, UTEP.
Yeah, he was not good.
Scheduling for them.
Northern Illinois versus 3-0 Mississippi State. Southeastern Louisiana against number 3 LSU. I will say this about LSU. They've already played Louisiana Tech. They're about to play Southeastern Louisiana, whose mascot is the Lions.
From
Hammond, Louisiana. They will play in-state schools.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said for that. But otherwise, the SEC, really, other than Auburn, Oklahoma, not much juice there. What else? Oregon State. Oregon State is whatever the next worse word than terrible is.
Brutal.
Jeez.
I mean, Willie, how does that guy keep
Indiana.
His job? How does that guy keep his job at Oklahoma State? He's been there forever. And
I think only Kirk Ferentz has been at his school longer than Mike Gundy.
And this is the only thing I can remember about Oklahoma State being relative. Weren't they in line to maybe play for the national championship, but they lost a game on a Friday night that catapulted Alabama into the playoff or something?
Wasn't it something where they beat somebody on a Friday night? Like I don't know.
I think
something
they got
like that.
Beat. I think they were having a good year and they got beat.
Yeah, Alabama ended up at the Independence Bowl. Something like that.
No, that was tough. They played Oklahoma State in the Independence Bowl.
Oh, that was Joe Kine's halftime interview. Got to stop that little inside trap.
But they lost a game on a Friday night that Alabama took advantage of. They won the next day, got into a playoff or whatever. I forgot how long ago it was. But Oklahoma State, I just don't get them. I really don't. I don't know how Gundy has been there that long. I really have nothing against him personally. Yeah. I just kind of wonder how the guy keeps losing and never getting anything done, and they keep the guy around.
All in all, though, the main takeaway from the first half hour of the program is we are in, during college football season, the dullest day of the week.
Yeah.
And this week, if you look over the entirety of the college football schedule, is one of the dullest weeks of the college football schedule.
It is. I'm with
you
there.
So today,
kind of a slow
it's
week.
A desert.
And I see Curtis working here. No, it's not. We're not ready to comment on the Phantom yet, but I know what you're doing there, Curtis. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Kick him while he's down. I don't remember you last week when we were 4 out of 5, but that's okay. That's okay. It's part of the business. We know what we're in for. I'm just preparing the viewing and listening audience, Barry, that 2 weeks from now, in 2 weeks' time, things could be a little bit different. Think about it. Some people don't want to think about it, but we like to think ahead. Auburn could be in the top 10 undefeated. Alabama could be out of the top 25 at 500, 2-2. And then you hear how have they fallen so far so fast.
If we could just get 10 seconds for me to kind of marinate in that and
just think about it. September the 27th, the evening of September, we'll say September 28th, when people wake up, sober up, kind of get, the cobwebs out, and they're facing reality, and they go,
that really happened.
Did I really wake up to this? Really?
That really happened last night.
Auburn is undefeated and in the top, probably maybe 5 by that point. Thinking playoff, Bama. They're not even thinking Cheez-It Bowl at that point.
Here's my other prediction.
Okay.
If that happens, Auburn signs Hugh Freeze to a multi-million-dollar extension.
Yeah.
They do that, I'm not saying they should or that's the proper move, but you know it, John.
Hold on a second.
That's what they do.
Let me give John Cohen just a smidgen of advice. I've used this for 35 years.
To great benefit.
Is your phone ringing off the hook? Are people trying to knock your door down to get in front of you to hire Hugh Freeze away? Until that happens, just cool your jets. I said that to Tennessee 30 years ago. They're giving Philip Fulmer. I said, whoa. Is anybody knocking the door down to hire Philip Fulmer? No. He's still over there on the sidelines talking to Peyton Manning last Saturday, yucking it up. He's leaning over to Peyton going, can you believe those Bammers got away with it? I thought I had them nailed to the cross. Man, look at them. They winning all these natties.
That's
Nobody
where it
wanted
all
Philip
began.
Fulmer. Yeah.
That's where it all began, as many things begin for John. An off-the-cuff remark, top of his head, didn't plan it, didn't script it, didn't think of it ahead of time. It's just like, and it was Philip Fulmer. Philip Fulmer was the candle that lit the phenomenon of who's knocking his door down? Who's wanting to hire that? Philip Fulmer was the first one that John said that about. Everybody said, that's exact. Nobody is knocking. Why are we,
Yeah, Auburn, I think's learned their lesson. They've done that with so many other coaches. Gave Chizik the world, basically. Malzahn, the same thing. Don't do that again. I'm trying to help you out, really. Just don't do that again. Freeze ain't going anywhere. Come on. He ain't leaving Auburn. He got a place at the lake, loves to play golf up there at Willow Point. He's good. He ain't going anywhere.
Don't do it. Don't do
panic and think you got to give him some unbelievable extension and buyout.
And don't panic, Plainsman Preston. We do have Josh Harris, a Moneyline Magician, coming up in just a moment. Stay with us. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
Extra, extra! The referral perks just doubled at Dixie. Now through November 30th, get $50 for you and $50 off for your friend when you refer them to Dixie. That's a $100 value. Current Dixie customers get 10% off any repair just for being loyal. Dixie Cares Plan members get an unbeatable 20% off. Plus, you can finance anything over $250. Double the rewards, double the savings.
Okay, 25 minutes to the top of the hour here on this Wednesday. Josh Harris going to join us momentarily, I believe, getting some things squared away. But we are here. The chat line is buzzing. The River Region Straw chat line.
Guys.
All of your pine straw needs. It is Kenny, 669-5959.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it when John teases you with it, lures you into it. Braves sweep a doubleheader yesterday. They played 2 games.
Yep.
Which is, to John, like the seventh circle of, they played 2 games yesterday against the Washington Nationals. Braves sweep a doubleheader on the road. Hey, look at the Braves. How about that? No. the Nationals are maybe the first team in the National League, I believe. No, the second team. This is the second team in the National League to 90 losses.
Ooh,
they're horrendous. Don't be saying, I thought so and so really looked good. No, don't do it. This is how bad the Nationals are in last place in the National League East.
Okay,
they're 7 games behind the Braves.
Ooh.
They are 29 games out of first place. The Nationals have 62 wins and 90 losses. The only team in the National League that's worse is the Colorado Rockies out in the West.
Oh, me like Curtis. Me coming hard at me early today.
Again, the Rockies. The Nationals have lost 90 games. The Rockies have lost 110.
Can you get an attendance figure? I know we talked about that game yesterday. I don't want to go into a lot of detail.
No, not yet.
I'm just curious how many fans were at that game last night.
Just again, nothing more than just reporting here. Not going to give you the score of the game, but Colorado played the Miami Marlins. 2 absolutely terrible teams with nothing to play for, both of them buried deep in the standings.
Yeah, tough.
And I'm looking for the box score here. It should be somewhere on this app.
Is that do you have to give the attendance, or is that just something somebody started 50 years ago and people just
it started ever since, here's the box score. Okay. Marlins versus Rockies in mid-September.
Yep.
The announced attendance. What?
No way.
22,764. I'm here to tell you that is a lie.
It was a giveaway game. I think it was a bobblehead night or something.
No, they ain't even doing that.
Free hot dogs in the third inning.
Bobblehead of the best Colorado Rocky player. That's like being the prettiest well, I shouldn't say. The best Rockies player.
Yep.
Unless it's a bobblehead of Todd Helton or something, they ain't getting anybody from the Rockies. There ain't no way there's 22,000 fans at that game last night. So anyway, don't fall in. Braves win twice yesterday, beating the Washington Nationals 6-3 and then 5-0. But they still stink. When the season is over for the Braves, and I'm talking about the regular season, pack it up. Probably that's the end of the tenure of Brian Snitker. John Brian Snitker is the manager of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, he needs to go.
And that's it. They're
unlike
the
former manager, Barry, who had the best lineup in Major League Baseball, could only scratch across one World Series championship. I ain't got nothing against this guy.
Yeah.
He ain't got the lineup that Bobby Cox had. Choke after choke after choke until
another one of my most favorite immortal longshoreisms. Man, I can get there and I can coach the Braves.
No kidding.
Manage the Braves to the playoffs. I mean, give me a break.
Smoltzy, here's the ball today. Go out and pitch.
Chipper, all right, you're a third for Kyle to short, whatever.
Yeah, you guys go at it.
The final game, for those of you who want to know, Monday the 29th is going to be a pretty good day.
Tell you, I've got it circled, Barry. I'm telling you, our audience, you need to circle that day.
That weekend's a big weekend in the state of Georgia because Georgia hosts Alabama on Saturday, and the Braves close the season on Sunday.
Oh, no, that's not going to be big.
Against the Pirates.
Who the Falcons playing that week? The Braves ain't going to be big.
That Monday, everybody's going to be like, hallelujah. It's that Sunday, the 28th of September, against the Pirates, who are putrid.
Yeah.
It is Blooper. Blooper is the Braves mascot. I love Blooper. It is Blooper Cereal Bowl and Spoon giveaway day.
I'd rather have a Pop-Tart.
And they still are not going to draw flies to that game. Still not going to happen. Here's who the Braves, again, the Braves are terrible. They play at the Tigers this weekend. They'll be drilled. And then their final 6 games are at home against the Nationals and the Pirates, who stink. There's not going to be anybody at the games, but the season's going to be over. John's going to be happy. Wait a minute. What now? Playoffs? Oh, snap. That'll last 2 months. So,
all right. Okay.
It's coming. It's coming. You've got
all right.
that last home series for the Braves. You got blooper, cereal bowl, and spoon giveaway.
What? What? Is that how they get people to come out there to do stuff like? Did they do that in the NFL? No.
We need to have Longshore and McKnight cereal bowl and spoon
giveaway. You got to have gimmicky giveaways to get people to sit out there and board them for 9 innings.
On the 24th, which is 1 week from today, on the 24th, the Braves play the Nationals, who are, again, putrid.
Once again, same teams every week.
At 12:15 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. And it is Weather Education Day. James Spann going to be there. Yeah, Chris Bailey going to be there. Josh Johnson going to be there. Hey, stick your head out the window and then pull it back in again. If your head is wet, it's raining. If it's not, you're fine. You've also got Ronald Acuna Jr. bobblehead giveaway that week. And on the 26th, when they open against the Pirates, all it says is live music. Is it Sniffing the Tears? It's not Zigging the Zig Tones. That ship has sailed.
Yeah, it is. Is it like a 80s cover band or something?
Yeah. Is it that Filipino guy with Journey? You better be somebody good.
That actually is the pseudo real deal. John Dent back at 717 enters a comment on the River Region Straw chat line. Greg McElroy seems to think Notre Dame is still okay for the playoff. One of those 9-3 playoff teams. Well, that's probably the most accurate thing McElroy said in the last 6 weeks, John, because Nick Saban is not going back to coaching. And for some reason, he went to one of Alabama's practices in August and said this team was going to win the national championship.
Well,
so maybe he's right on Notre Dame. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because if there's any team that can be 9-3 and go to the playoff, it's Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, look at them. I mean, they're 0-2 and they're still ranked. Now, some people will say it's because they've lost 2 games by a total of 4 or 5 points, whatever it is, against 2 top 10 teams. I seem to think it's because it's Notre Dame. 0-2 doesn't matter. It's Notre Dame. Believe me.
If Auburn had done that, would they still be ranked?
No.
And be talked about as a playoff team?
Heck no. If Alabama did it, it wouldn't be happening right
now.
Of course,
I don't have Notre Dame's schedule in front of me, but I don't think they play anybody. I mean, the rest of the way out, they do play Arkansas next week, I believe.
They've always had a reputation of playing a really strong schedule because they're Notre Dame and the hallowed, gold. But here's what they've got. They've got Purdue this week. They go to Arkansas at 11 in the morning next week. The Alabama-Georgia weekend.
Yeah.
They host Boise State.
Terrible.
They host NC State.
Horrible.
They host USC.
They're playing teams back-to-back with horrible helmets also. Boise and NC State.
They play USC at home. Then an off week, and then they close. Get this. They close. Their November looks like this. They have 5 games in November. Notre Dame does. At Boston College, home against Navy, at Pitt, home against Syracuse, and at Stanford.
Barry, this team's going to go 10-2. They're not going to lose again. They will win out, finish 10-2. They will be in the college football playoff. I'm going to agree with Greg on this one. I'm not sure they're going 9-3, but I think they're going to make the playoff, losing their first 2 games. Similar to Kansas City in the NFL, they're going to be in the playoffs too. They're 0-2. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Because of the brand, which drives me crazy.
Well, that has a little to do with it, but I think if Notre Dame wins the 10 straight, they're getting in the playoff. 10-2, and they lose to two teams that are going to be in the top 20 in Miami and A&M. They're in. They're in.
They might lose to USC, but still 9-3.
I don't know if I'm hearing a lot of buzz about USC. I heard Cowherd crowing about them the other day. He's in love with their quarterback. Couldn't tell you who it is. And I'm thinking, I've heard that song and dance before as well. I don't know what he is, what it is about Southern Cal that he's so enamored with. But now I will say, don't get me wrong. I mean, Southern Cal is still one of the big boys. Say what you will about them. You know, their record might not look that good, but they're still a blue blood. The ghost of John McKay is still there. You know, the Trojan riding out on the horse, and of course those hot cheerleaders in those extra tight sweaters.
But then again, they might have the ghost of Ted Tollner still there, you know.
Who?
Or some of that, or Larry Smith, or some of the other barn burners they've had.
You know, Barry, they could say the same thing about another team that had, you know, the trio of Mikes as head coaches, and a guy named Dennis as a head coach, and you know,
Bill,
you know,
some guy who made his reputation by being the last guy drafted in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
For those kids who don't know, and we got a lot of young ones, the Mikes is not necessarily the name of 3-4. It's the name of an era, you know. Man,
you're right. It was an era.
Those youngsters, you don't know, thinking all of this, you know, is just winning all the time and natties all the time. Hey, listen, Junior, I lived through the Mikes. The Mikes? Yeah. Who were the Mikes? No, it's not who were the Mikes. It was the era of the Mikes. Mike Shula, Mike Dubose, Mike Price. Those guys. Yeah. That was a vibe more than it was a coaching era. Everybody's kind of had that.
Who was the former Aub that was a head coach at Southern Cal?
Yep. Again, this is one of my favorite new phrases. We've actually had him as a guest on our program, but John doesn't remember him. His name is Clay Helton.
Oh, yeah. He's at Southern, isn't he?
He is, as a matter of fact. Yeah. I knew him because his dad, Kim Helton, was an assistant coach for years at the University of Florida. And when I was a kid and I went to the University of Florida football camps when I was like 10 or 9 or something like that, and he was my position coach.
What position did he coach at Auburn before he got the Southern Cal job?
No, he wasn't an Auburn coach. He was like a GA at he was on the team at Auburn. He never played.
All right.
Yeah, he never played. But he was a quarterback. Great guy. He was a quarterback at Auburn. I think he transferred to Houston because his dad was the head coach at Houston. There is that guy. It's amazing how Chris, just in his mind, he catalogs the former Aubs. Hey, who's the former Aub that was at USC? Who's the former Aub? What's that Aub's name that did? Oh, you know, when John gets along with his buddies and they're raising a brandy snifter and clipping the end off of a Cohiba and everything, and say, I really liked that guy. Let's raise a glass to that guy. He was an Aub, but he was a really good guy.
For an Aub, he was pretty good.
They mean that to the depth of their soul, you know? He was a really good guy. I really liked him. I mean, he was an Aub, but he was okay, you know, and they all raised their glasses, you know, two Aubs who were okay. That is a thing, I'm telling you, you know.
Folks, believe it or not, I've got a lot of Aub friends. I really do. And they're great people. There's no doubt about it. We don't watch football games together, but we do just about everything else together. They're good folks.
They tried.
Yeah.
They did try. They tried watching football games together. Found out pretty soon that probably wasn't going to work.
Nah. It's kind of like watching
great friends.
It's like watching election results. Democrats and Republicans don't need to do it together.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just don't do. You don't do. There's a couple of things in life you don't do. You don't watch election results together. You don't get Auburn and Alabama fans together to watch the Iron Bowl. You don't talk about religion, you know, amongst a big group of folks. You don't mention those three things, you're going to get along pretty well.
Yes.
Things are going to go all
agree.
right for you.
I
not real
agree.
sure where Josh Harris is today. Maybe he got tied up in a high-level financial meeting. We certainly understand that. Not a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can certainly squeeze him in at another time if that needs to happen. But I do know at the top of the hour, our man Robert Kahn from Phoenix Physical Therapy is going to join us. Our weekly visit with Robert and his great staff. A lot of injuries last weekend in professional and college football, as well as on the high school level as well. We'll talk about that and what it takes to get back into the game.
Couple of other things as well. Maybe it'll be on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland's 777 topic wheel. If you missed Dabo Sweeney, we've had somebody check. If you missed Dabo in his weekly press conference, he got really loose. 1-2 start, and in the one game they lost, the one game they won, they were trailing 16-0 against Troy at home. Quote, if they want me gone, they're tired of winning, they can send me on their way because that's all we've done is win. And he said that at the top of his voice. Also,
well, Barry, here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
And Dabo's right. They won a lot of games at Clemson. I think they said he's won 8 of the last 10 conference titles, something like that.
He's been in the college football playoff more than any other team except Alabama.
But Dabo, like you, my man, but that's not, Clemson wants more. There's another fan base out there like that. You don't need to tell them how many games they've won. Don't care how many SEC titles they've won. How many natties have you won? That's what it's, I mean, fair or not, you get to that level, that's what you got to do. And if you don't, it's like, Cheez-It Bowl? Really? You can't be serious.
And it's kind of sad because if somebody organizes a charitable event in your area and, you know, hey, we'll have several former Alabama players there, you know, to raise money for this fund.
Yeah.
For this charity. We'll have several former Alabama players. And you're like, hey, tell me who. If it's, and nothing against any of them.
Yeah, true.
If it's Glenn Coffey,
yeah,
or Kenneth Darby, or
Dolly Madison.
Yeah,
His name wasn't Dolly. What was his real name?
His name's Anthony.
Anthony Madison. I could have sat here all day and never remembered that.
Or is it GMAC or JPW?
Jake Coker. I'd go see Jake Coker. Guy's not getting enough love. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going on the Crimson Cruise and you're sitting out there in the middle of nowhere on your deck chair,
yeah,
and all of a sudden your buddy wakes you up and says, hey, look who just walked past me. Who was that?
It's
Brian
Bergdorf.
Yeah, and you're like, man, how many natties did he win? Come on.
I mean, nothing
I was
against
having
those
a good
guys.
nap.
Yeah,
I was dreaming about Cela Ward, and you wake me up for Lemansky Hall.
Is that Lee Osmond over there? Well, I think, I guess
that's not right. And there are so many people who sweated and bled and sacrificed and hurt for the University of Alabama football program every bit as much as Tua. And
here's some guys I want to be with. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
But they don't ever get any love.
Snake Stabler, that's tops of the list. Rest in peace, Snake. Freddie Kitchens. I mean, let's hang out with Freddie Kitchens. I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah,
Freddie,
but
tell me,
I mean,
Freddie, that pass in the back of the end zone. I mean, come on. He was in. Sure, he was in. Heck yeah. If they only had video replay back then.
Well, so, yeah, Clemson.
Come on.
And I know what you fans are saying, that they don't deserve to be as spoiled as we are. We actually have reason to be spoiled. Who do they think they are? But Dabo was not real happy.
I'm right. If this Bama team goes 8-4 and they're in the Cheez-It Bowl, forget it. Done. And I know there are teams out there that would roll over backwards to get a chance to go to the Cheez-It Bowl. Really? Okay. I tell you what, y'all go in place of us. That's the way they're thinking.
Really? You'd let us do that? Hey, man, whatever it is. One other thing before we go to break and get to the top of the hour.
Yeah.
This is going to drive John nuts. The announcement has been made. Listen closely. This might be on the topic wheel, might not. Starting next year, the Masters will have expanded broadcast coverage.
Man,
even
really?
More Masters coverage. Amazon Prime. 2 hours of Masters coverage during each of the first 2 rounds, before the cut.
Yeah.
The Masters on Amazon Prime.
I'm not sure Clifford Roberts would have liked that because, back in the day, Barry, you only saw the back nine. Well, they don't call it the back nine. They call the inward nine. So that's, I guess, in golf talk. And then you'd only see the inward nine. Now you see the whole golf course, all 18 holes, and it's on all day. Now, I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I want to hear Jim Nance. I want to hear Dottie Pepper and all those people. I don't want to hear what the folks at Amazon Prime have to say. And I don't want to go. I don't want to see the guys that are 20 shots off the lead. Play. That's not who I want to watch. I'm not interested in that.
Unless, and this will never happen, unless the front nine of Thursday, front nine of Friday. Now let's go to the fourth tee here with coverage on Amazon Prime, John Longshore and Barry McKnight.
Barry, number 4 here at Augusta National, the only hole with a palm tree on it. Little trivia there for our audience watching today on Amazon Prime. Glad you're with us here from Augusta
Scotty,
National.
Buddy. Hey, how you doing, Scotty? Yeah, hit him straight, man. Yeah. Hey, John? Hey, what you hitting?
Yeah,
what you hitting?
A little wind up there. Check that flag out. That flag's blowing. Got to factor in the wind.
And John, all of a sudden, here he comes, Rory McIlroy to the fourth tee. John's like, I hope he gets a bowl of soup with that.
Yeah. Hey, Rory, $50, you slice into the woods.
I never slice. People would watch that. We would draw some viewers to Amazon Prime.
Speaking of golf,
maybe Barry, that's what they're doing.
Speaking of golf, and the last weekend of the month, which is Alabama at Georgia, Auburn at Texas A&M. That's also Ryder Cup weekend from Bethpage Black.
Time. I keep hearing about tune-up for Ryder Cup and so, the selections for Ryder Cup and da-da-da. Let's get it going, okay?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. All right, Robert Kahn's about 2 minutes away. He's taking care of one of his patients there at Phoenix Physical Therapy. So Robert will join us here in a couple of minutes. I guess that gives us a good time to take a top-of-the-hour break, get everything set up for hour number 2.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughan Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has F-150s over 16 grand off plus 2.9%. And your last chance for a tax credit on Lightnings. 17 grand in savings or 0% or $349 a month with zero down.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Stivers Ford of Montgomery has Broncos under 35 grand. Bronco Sports under 24 grand. Rockies under 29 grand or $299 a month with zero down. And new Explorers 10 grand off or 2.9%.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Okay, back at it here. Hour number 2 underway on this Wednesday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy in association with our good friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. Check us out there. Video content, a write-up about the show each and every afternoon. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, Spotify, Apple iTunes. Wherever you listen and watch, we are there. We greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I believe our man Robert Kahn from Phoenix Physical Therapy joining us here on this Wednesday as he joins us each and every week during the season. Robert, hope you're doing well today, my friend.
I'm doing well. I don't see my camera on for some reason here.
Yeah, let's see what we got on there.
Oh, I think it's on me. Let's see. There we go.
Hey, everybody wants to see your smiling face today.
Much better.
I've never been much of an IT guy, John.
Yeah.
No, me either.
Well, we rely on you for much more important stuff than that. Phoenix Physical Therapy locations throughout the river region, locations throughout the nation. Robert Kahn joins us here. There's a couple of things out there that have cropped up injury-wise in the sports world that I think people would probably take more seriously in the general public if they had better creative marketing, Robert. A hip pointer, a turf toe. Those, despite, a pointer and your toe, and those are serious deals. Let's start with a hip pointer. Auburn wide receiver Eric Singleton maybe suffered reportedly a hip pointer in their win over South Alabama. I'm being told over and over again that is painful as heck, Robert.
For sure. So, in your hip bone that's on the side or even on the front, there's a spot where there's just not a whole lot of meat covering it up. And the bone is sitting there really susceptible for getting hit. So a hip pointer is nothing but a bad bone bruise on a part of your pelvis called your iliac crest. But when you take a helmet to a bone or you take a shot to a bone, it hurts. And it's not something that goes away quickly. It's not like a muscle bruise that, look, work it out, put a little heat on it, put a little ice on it, stretch it out real good, feels good, you move on. A bone bruise can last a little bit of a time. It can be very, very painful. And look, nowadays, these football players don't even wear any pads on their hips and their knees. I mean, they're practically wearing shorts out there on the football field. They're not very protected on these, kneecaps, iliac crest, and your hip to where you can really take a shot there.
Yeah, I was thinking as you were describing that, Robert, just kind of feeling my hip where that not meaty part of the bone is. And I'm thinking, back in the day, we had a hip pad. And way back in the day, that hip pad actually had snaps on it. And you snap it into your girdle or your pants or whatnot. It was about that thick. Well, and I guess that cushioning, because there's really not a lot of cushion there on the body. You got to have something on that hip.
Unless you're Charlie Weiss.
But if somebody
some more than others, Barry, some more than others.
If you get hit there by the helmet or maybe on a hard artificial surface, I could see how that could be pretty dadgum painful if you don't have any padding.
Absolutely. And things have changed. They used to make them pull their pants down to cover their knees and, you got to go out of the game until you cover your knees with some knee pads. Look, nowadays, they literally are wearing shorts out on the football field with very little protection of some pretty important structures that are susceptible to getting hurt.
Saw a punter in a game Saturday night. I mean, he had on like Tom Selleck Magnum PI shorts and these leggings or something. I'm thinking, what are these kids dressing like these days?
So what do you do to rehab that?
That's
what is he looking at?
I mean, that's just, let's control the symptoms, right? If it's swollen, let's get some ice on it. Let's control the pain. Make sure he maintains his strength and maintains his range of motion. But it's really just let's treat the symptoms, the pain, the inflammation. Let's get it calmed down. Take a little Advil, take a little ice, and try to settle down the inflammation.
And that's one of those injuries, Robert, that really there's no, I guess, physical therapy involved. You just kind of got to let it heal. I mean, there's nothing, no stretching or anything like that, I would assume.
It's not a whole lot of PT that we will do for a hip pointer. Like I said, if it's significantly painful and they become tight in some of the other muscle structures around the hip, then we'll work with those and make sure they remain strong. So when they are ready and asymptomatic to go back and play, they're ready to go.
We hear heat versus cold. Then there's like, I know it's not called this, but I guess, shock therapy where they use electric pads and stuff.
Yep.
Would that be something with a hip pointer? Obviously the heat and the cold, but I guess those electrodes trying to loosen things up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's really a pain mechanism as well. It's something to help control the pain. So, once we can get the pain under control, the person becomes much more functional. And then you get it simulated like we talk about getting return to play. There's no real set time frame of you're out 2 weeks, you're out 4 weeks. It's really just how bad the bruise on the bone will be, what the symptoms are, what the pain tolerance is of the player, and are they safe to go back and play.
Do you see a lot of hip pointers in your clinics?
Oh, yeah, all the time. There's not a whole lot of PT for them, but it's just a hard shot. You hear, back in the day, deep thigh bruise. Well, that's more of a muscle bruise, right? We can work on that a whole lot. We can work on stretching and flexibility and muscle strength. Like I said, those bone bruises are really just, hey, look, let's get it under control. Let's get their pain under control, get them functional as we can, and make sure that they don't lose any function.
We also harken back to the days when, you wore the tailbone pad, the hip pad, all that stuff, all the way down. I was skinny enough when I played youth league ball that I couldn't run without my knee pads flapping. But they were there, I remember seeing all those old videos and watching football games where even like the quarterback or like John said, the punter, they had the big old humongous shoulder pads that went right up to their ear holes. And it was you think you're looking at the quarterback, how can he even throw with those shoulder pads on? Nowadays, you see shoulder pads that are, those are kiddie league shoulder pads on NFL 310-pound defensive linemen. Is that enough padding there?
Well, and look, you talk about just like there's no hip pads, there's no, knee pads.
Knee pads.
They want to wear these smaller shoulder pads that obviously provide less protection. Sometimes the quarterback's going to wear the smaller shoulder pads. Look, they've got to get their arm motion. They've got to get, a little bit more mobility in their upper body. But sometimes you see these defensive linemen, and look, maybe they are huge pads, but they just look small on these massive defensive linemen. But the padding and the coverage is getting smaller and smaller, which does leave you susceptible to taking shots where you don't have any coverage.
Well, I asked that in part to ask this, and I'm not telling any tales out of school. Hopefully I'm not releasing too much information, but Troy quarterback Goose Crowder, he posted on his Instagram on Sunday after he had surgery, and he had several screws in his, it looks like his collarbone, it's his shoulder. He took just a regular looking hit after he released the football, and it wasn't on his collarbone, but I guess it got driven to the ground. Is there any way, and now he's out for significant time, is there any way to pad that up to prevent that from happening? Or is it just, there's no way to get around it. When you get driven down, something's got to give.
Yeah. When we have what we call an AC sprain, which is the joint between the collarbone and the shoulder, we can provide some additional padding up underneath there to allow somebody to be more protected when they go back to play. Typically, though, that is not something you're just going to wear in order just to wear. You see some of these quarterbacks wearing the old flak jackets. They used to be the big pad, the rib pads and everything. Now it's just a shirt with additional padding in it. And some of those will have some additional cushion around the collarbone. But typically, it's not something you're going to pad up just in case. It is something that we will provide some additional cushion, some additional protection to if there is a AC sprain or you're recovering from a clavicle fracture.
If you're Goose, a great kid, really great player, and you've got those screws in and you feel some urgency about getting back, realistically, with those in there, just freshly in there, what kind of rehab can he do?
Yeah, if it's a clavicle fracture, and which we see a ton of those as well, I will tell you the technology of returning from a collarbone fracture with plates and screws inserted in there has come a long way. It used to be, hey, so you're out 6 weeks, then you're rehabbing, and then you're coming back. We have seen, because they put a plate and screws in there, the bones are stable, right? They're going through the healing process, but they're not going anywhere. We've seen football players return to play in 3 to 4 weeks after having a plate and screws inserted into their collarbone. I've seen day one after surgery, totally pain-free, football players coming in here, rehabbing, going through the range of motion, starting their strengthening process, feeling 30 times better than they did the day before when it was fractured and not repaired. So the technology with these clavicle fractures we're seeing is really, really improving.
I've heard screws used in procedures for healing. I don't think I've ever heard it for a shoulder. I mean, when Barry told me that earlier this week, I went, whoa, shoulder screws. I don't think I've ever heard that.
There's a bunch. So
that kind of sent up a red flag for me. And do the screws stay there permanently, or are they removed?
It depends on if they're symptomatic long term. Most people don't have any problem with them. They keep the plate and screws in there for long term, whether it's your ankle, whether it's your collarbone. It stays in there and it's good to go. Now, some people have symptoms of uncomfortableness or rubbing against the skin or some inflammation and a little bit of problem with them long term. And it is okay at that point to go in and take the plates and screws out because the bone's totally healed back up. But I would say most people keep them in.
I mean, going through the airport metal detector could be a little pain in the butt, but besides that, I think you're going to be okay. But man, screws in the shoulder, man.
Yeah.
That's a new one on me. I'd never heard that before.
It sounds like probably a collarbone type injury. I've seen a screw in what's called the coracoid process in the shoulder, and that's just a little bit part. It's the backside of the scapula where several muscles attach there. I've seen some coracoid fractures before that causes a screw to be put in there and stabilize the coracoid, but that's pretty rare. I've seen it twice in football in 27 years. We've seen it, pretty frequently in automobile accidents and things like that, but it's not very common as far as a football injury. But it could be what he had, Barry. If he had a really hard shot on the front of that shoulder, he may have had a screw put in that coracoid and restabilized it, and he should be good to go.
Okay. Interesting to know. Again, every situation, obviously, as Robert has told us many times, is different and is treated different. This has also happened twice in football. There are 2 starting quarterbacks in the NFL who are going to miss significant time, Brock Purdy of the 49ers and now Joe Burrow of the Bengals, because of toe injuries.
They're talking about Joe Burrow having surgery on this turf toe, which, let me tell you, I mean, I would say less than 5% of all turf toe injuries require surgery. So he must have done it really, really good. So it's a hyperextension of your great toe, your big toe. There are lots of ligaments, lots of structures at the base of that joint between your toe and your foot. Right. Now, if you hyperextend that thing pretty bad and tear some of those structures and the joint itself becomes unstable, you got to go in there and fix it. You got to repair it. You got to tighten it back down. That's a 3 to 4 month process. I'd be surprised if he does have surgery. I'd be surprised to see him back on the field again this year.
I mean, I'm thinking a toe. That's going to keep you out the whole year. But
yeah,
I mean, I think America's going, come on, Joe, suck it up. But
yeah, like I said, most turf toe is just a sprain. It is painful. It is a pain to deal with, and it's hard to get rid of. But if they're really going to do surgery on it, like all the reports show, it must have been a really bad hyperextension.
You've never, and you can't, I mean, I don't know how you rehab it, but I mean, you can't do toe ups, you know,
Yeah.
you can't, I mean, you can't, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the rehab after the surgery is, you've got a protected phase right at the beginning for about 4 weeks or so, to where you're really just letting the structures heal back up. Yeah. The next couple of weeks, you're working on light range of motion, gentle range of motion. Next couple of weeks, you're moving towards strengthening, and then you're getting into function and returning to function, whatever you do on a daily basis.
Well, in Brock Purdy's case, that's good news for Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Had a good Sunday. Well, he's playing the Saints, but still had a good Sunday, and maybe he'll get some more starts as well as Purdy. I don't think his is as severe as Burrow's, though.
No, Purdy didn't have surgery. But the worst part about the Joe Burrow injury, he's my fantasy football quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Done.
Oh, man.
Done. My 0-2 start's not looking any better from here on out.
That could cost Robert, from 6th place to 7th now.
Man, who's Strawboy got? I'm wondering who his quarterback is in fantasy league.
I think it's Spencer Rattler.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Oh. We do take requests. Our man John is asking about rotator cuff rehab. I know that wasn't on the docket today, but we do take requests here on the program.
Absolutely. Rotator cuff repairs are probably one of the most common things we see in orthopedic physical therapy. Very, very common, mostly in middle-aged, older population. We see them in the younger population in sports sometimes, but it's really it's very, very common. I've had it myself, and it's a rough process. So they go in there, and your rotator cuff is a group of 4 muscles and tendons in your shoulder that attach, and they're responsible for rotational movement in the shoulder. When one of those tendons either tears loose or has a partial tear, they go in and they use anchors, and they anchor that tendon back to the bone, the top of the humerus in there. And then it's a 3 to 6 month process of physical therapy to return to your normal activities. Again, you've got about a 6 weeks period after your surgery that you're really protecting that repair and making sure it's stable. Then you get into some a more aggressive strengthening of the rotator cuff and making sure you get your strength back, all along working on your range of motion in all 4 planes of your shoulder. It is very, very common. We see it all the time. It's one of those things too that's making strides in technology as well from a quicker type recovery. But it is very common. We see it all the time. I've had it myself. It can be a very painful process post-operatively with the physical therapy, but in the end of the game, it's usually worth it to get it fixed when you have a tear.
There you go, John. There's your answer. Yeah.
And maybe in Robert Kahn's case, if he hadn't been firing all those 70-yard bombs when he was in high school, he would have had that overuse early in his.
Yeah, the guy had a cannon, Barry. I'm telling you, I used to see him throw it. Woo. There's no doubt about that. We have another question. We're going to wait till next week on that one. We appreciate all of the suggestions on the chat line, but I think that's a little bit more in detail, so we'll get into that next week with Robert when he joins us. But, Robert, before we let you go, obviously high school football, a lot going on. Man, they're just going there, colleges as well as just all over the place. And Phoenix Physical Therapy, it seems like every time we talk with you, is growing and expanding, going into communities throughout the state and throughout the Southeast.
Yeah, for sure. We're all around Central Alabama, Prattville, Greenville, Troy, Wetumpka, Selma, Auburn, Alex City, soon to open in Pike Road in about 6 weeks. We just opened in Alabaster about 3 weeks ago, so we're really excited about our expansion. And look, we open our clinics around good people. So we've got a fantastic staff. We've got great therapists that absolutely know how to get you better. Not only that, customer service is the utmost priority with what we do. We're going to prioritize you, get you in, get you convenient scheduled appointments, and most importantly, get you well from whatever's ailing you.
There you go. PhoenixPhysicalTherapy.com is the address to find out how you get in touch with him. You welcome any questions or any insights you can get at PhoenixPhysicalTherapy.com. Robert Kahn, we appreciate it as always.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Robert Kahn joining us each and every week here on the program, our Phoenix Physical Therapy Injury Update. Great information as always. Theotis, come on, man. You know how the game's played. You know why we mention that? Keeps you hanging. You got to come back next week. It's kind of like when the $6 million man fell off the cliff and you're going, is he going to make it? You got to wait till next week to see.
All of a sudden, he's over there in the campground and he sees Sasquatch.
Yeah.
What?
Come on.
Sasquatch. Yeah, so, that who was, by the way, I believe that was John Matuzak, who played for the for the Oakland Raiders.
That's when the $6 million man got a little wacky, when they had the bionic dog and Sasquatch and all that junk. Bring back Jamie Summers and the romance with the bionic woman.
I mean, come on, Plainsman Preston. What do you think this is? A presidential debate or something? Come on. We're just shooting the breeze with Robert Kahn. We've got lots more to get to. As a matter of fact, when we come back, it's our Phantom Daily Dog. It's next. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's here. Victoryland Casino's Corvette 25K giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Drive away in a Corvette or win your share of $25,000 in free play and cash. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama.
Drawings October 3rd and 4th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Barry, you look really cool in that Corvette that they're giving away out at Victoryland. Woo.
Heck yeah.
Man, you have to slow it down there on 231, though. Got a couple of state troopers hanging around the Country Mall area. They catch some speeders going down this. You got to have a lead foot. Yeah.
Appreciate you, John Dent. John gets it. You know, some just don't understand the complexities of building suspense, intrigue, and interest in future shows.
That's right.
Next week, John's got his little notepad. And he says, hey, ask Robert Kahn that question that we were talking about before, that Plainsman Preston was giving us some slings and arrows about. I think it had something to do with
I think it'll be worth the wait,
in
Preston. I think you'll be happy that you stuck around and waited for that question next week with Robert. You're right. Thank you, John. That's a good way to put it.
Yep, there you go. Now, same thing, Preston, you'll notice this. The same approach has often been proven to be effective in John and my decades and decades of work in our careers together when it comes to, say, the Phantom.
Yeah, it is. You know? Curtis has already touched on that earlier today. That's fine. That's okay. It's part of the biz. You know, there again, 4 out of 5 last week, but nobody remembers. But there again, that was then. This is now. We've kind of got off to a tough start this week. And we had the Colorado Rockies at home in front of allegedly 22,000 people.
False. That's gobbledygook.
Yeah. And Barry, it kind of went a little like this. We were down 6-0 midway through the 6th inning.
Yes.
Miami had jumped on our Rockies 6-0. It was not looking good.
Yeah.
Not looking good at all. But I got to give credit to this scrappy Colorado Rocky team.
They're down 6-0 going into the bottom of the 8th in front of the grounds crew. I mean, Jack Kevorkian is up there, looking at his watch.
But they didn't give up. They did not give up. Scratched out 3 in the bottom of the 8th, 2 in the bottom of the 9th. We're just 1 run away to get to the extra innings. But it wasn't enough. And the Rockies fall last night at home in front of a reported 22,000 fans in Denver.
Yeah.
Who's to argue with the attendance
Me.
guy?
I'm arguing that. There ain't no way. Unfortunately, again, for the Rockies, that was their 110th loss.
Tough.
I think they've gotten 20 more losses than anybody else in Major League.
That's another one of those stadiums, kind of like where the Washington Nationals play, and I'm sure there's several others that just I can't think of off the top of my head. I've actually driven past the Colorado Rockies baseball stadium. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
Okay.
Because you've actually driven by the Nationals stadium.
I have walked past that.
Oh, okay. That counts even more.
I've actually walked past the big house in Ann Arbor. Didn't go in, but walked right past it.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that John has walked right past and never gone in.
Like people like, hey, man, you want to go into this baseball stadium today and watch the game? I think I'll just walk right by it. Is that okay?
The other moral to that story, Colorado loses 6-5, scoring 5 runs in the 8th and 9th to make the Phantom say, come on, no.
Come on. Made me made me hang around.
They lose the game. Reliever Kyle Freeland, a left-hander for the Rockies, takes the loss.
Come on, Kyle.
Kyle,
help a brother
with
out.
the loss, now sees his record drop to 4-16.
He might not even go back to single A.
And 16.
Man.
I thought for sure when I said that within the first 8 seconds there would be some reference to
related
5
to Gene
and
Chizik?
19.
Yeah, is he related to Gene Chizik?
Okay, that counts. But that puts his overall major league record at 60. He's pitched a lot, Kyle Freeland.
Yeah.
64 and 89.
Who was the manager for the Colorado Rockies that thought it was a good idea to stick this guy in the game? Come on.
It used to be Bud Black, but he got fired, as you can imagine. Kyle Freeland can win 25 straight games.
Unreal.
And he would still be a 500 pitcher. He is 25 under 500.
That is brutal.
So what do we got?
All right, here's today's Phantom Daily Dog Beer, and it's early. So note this, write it down, set your watch. 12:15 this afternoon. It's a lunchtime special, Barry. This game is in St. Louis where the Cardinals are at home even against the Cincinnati Reds. It's a pick 'em, and we are picking the St. Louis Cardinals to beat the Cincinnati Reds today at an even pick 'em game. 12:15 first pitch. Don't fall asleep on this one,
That's right.
folks.
Yeah.
That's your winner.
You go. Matter of fact, pretty good number of early games in Major League Baseball. That is the Phantom Daily Dog. As promised, remember, Preston, we did tell you that we had this coming up a little bit later on. It's called a tease. C.J. Duncan.
He is joining us as we speak. It looks like he's walking around the halls of Congress here today. C.J., how are you, my man?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing? I am in Washington, D.C., getting a little work done, but happy to be with you guys.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I imagine you're happy about a lot of things these days.
Absolutely.
How about Vanderbilt and South Carolina, huh?
You know what? I had a feeling. I will say I had a feeling that this thing was going to work out the way that it did. But we are very excited about how our guys are playing. It's really good to start off a season 3-0, but it's a long season, so we got to stay focused, stay dialed in. But you got to love the grit that we play with, the speed that we play with, and it's really paying off to have that older team, right? You can see that really show up each Saturday where these guys are playing together, whether we're on the road or at home. We're just playing a good brand of football.
CJ, it's not a fluke. I mean, they're going into places like Virginia Tech, going into South Carolina, and beating these teams. It's not something fluky happening. They're running all over them.
Absolutely. No, this is a team that is you can tell there's a bigger goal here. Of course, you want to take it day by day, but they truly are going into these games believing that they're going to win the game, and that's the start of it, right? You got to get that confidence up. You got to believe in your guys. And I told someone recently, it's good when you have a closer, right? The rest of the team understands if we keep this game close, we've got somebody that can go finish that game for us, and that's what Diego is for us.
Yeah, and he's the face of the program, and I get it, and he deserves to be. And there's always so much constant focus on him and credit when things go well. But I'm telling you, they got a defense that has been pretty. C.J. Hurd had 12 tackles, 12 solo tackles in the win against South Carolina. My point is that it ain't just Diego Pavia, CJ.
No, it's not. There's a lot of guys with a lot of speed and a lot of physicality. And when you go on the road and you play in this league, you've got to set the tone early. And that's what we're doing. You just got guys that are excited to be out there, excited to not only prove something to America for themselves, but also for this university. We're not the team that you can sneak up on it, or we can't sneak up on anyone else anymore. Everybody sees us coming, so we've got to have a different attitude about ourselves.
You talked about confidence, CJ. You got to think Ty Simpson at Alabama is pretty confident these days. 30 out of 31 completions in his last two games, 17 for 17 in the game 2 weeks ago. That'll get your confidence sky high.
It sure does, and he's got a lot of talent around him. I think he's doing a good job of getting the ball out quickly. And the offensive coordinator is putting him in positions to be successful. I think, sometimes the long developing plays downfield, can mess things up at times. But if you get the ball out early with those fast athletes, you let them do the rest of the work. And I think the biggest number is just no turnovers, right? When you keep those turnovers down, you tend to be a little bit more successful. So.
Auburn, a workmanlike performance to beat South Alabama at home. Now they go to Oklahoma. Everybody's going to be focusing on the return of Jackson Arnold to Norman. What's important in that game? How do you see that game playing out?
Starting fast, right? Don't let the crowd get involved. That's what the road is all about. You don't want to start slow there. You want to establish the run game early. And really, I kind of look at the defensive side of the ball really for Auburn. With the explosive quarterback that Oklahoma has and the explosive offense they have, you got to make sure you're playing top down, right? You don't want to get beat deep. You don't want to give them any splash plays that can allow them to get the confidence, right, and get the crowd behind them. So I think as long as you start early, start fast, establish the run game, but also play a good brand of defense, Auburn should be okay.
Getting a little criticism, CJ, of people saying, man, what's going on with this guy? A lot of incompletions against really inferior competition.
Yeah, UTEP last week for Arch.
Yeah, no, it's tough to see. The kid has all the ability in the world. And there's been rumors that he may have a shoulder injury or something of that nature, but a lot of the decision making, I think, is more concerning than anything. And those are the things that you just see out of a young quarterback. You really do. We kind of put him on a pedestal very early. He's had high expectations. We expect him to play like Peyton Manning, from day one. And we got to remember, even Peyton Manning, it took time. Eli, it took time. All those guys stayed in college 4 years. And so this is Arch's first go at it. And, you hope to kind of see some progress. And my biggest thing is just, what are you seeing? Are you going through your progressions? And if they're not there, use your legs. You've got the ability to run the ball, and you're a big kid, so use those legs and just be very careful with the ball. You don't want to see those turnovers that we've been seeing lately.
It's the same thing with DJ Lagway down at Florida. Young quarterback. He throws 5 interceptions against LSU. Most of those were bad decisions out there. It goes back to something Sark said. He was telling Arch Manning, you never really are a real quarterback until you've been booed. And both of them are going through it. There's growing pains involved, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. Well, it is. We'll see what you're made of, right? Because there's of course, the physical aspect, which both of those guys have, but the mental aspect is going to a university in the SEC. You're going to have folks that give you all the praise, but you're also going to have a lot of folks that blame it all on you as well. And if you can come out of that, you'll have a successful career going forward. But it's just about managing your emotions, never getting too high, never getting too low. But I will say 5 interceptions is completely unacceptable. You just cannot do that to your ball club, especially when your defense is playing pretty well. LSU didn't just burn it up either. But when you have 5 interceptions, I can almost guarantee you're not going to win that game.
We are 25% complete with the regular season. Who's the best team you've seen so far?
You know what? That's hard to really say right now. A couple of weeks ago, I may have said LSU, but there's still some struggles there offensively. I think their defense is pretty elite, which the defense is what carries you to a championship at times, and you hope your offense catches up to it. But right now, Ohio State still has the crown. They haven't necessarily played a tough game since Texas, but they are the defending champs. And so until they are beaten, we still have to consider them the best team in America.
One more thing about the topic we were talking about young quarterbacks and growing pains. I thought it was really cagey, and I didn't realize it at the time. From Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, he loses his young quarterback. He's got a guy, Trinidad Chambliss, who throws for about 370 or 380 in a win against Arkansas. He was a Division II quarterback who transferred up, CJ, and you could tell that he had played a lot of football. There's no substitute.
At this rate, I think Lane Kiffin can roll me out there, and I'll probably go for 300 yards. I think it feels like it's the Lane Kiffin effect. But, in that offense, although it's complex, it is an offense that you can be very successful in as a quarterback. He gives you very, I don't want to say basic reads, but I think the way that he explains and he teaches the quarterback position, I think those guys are very prepared going into games, right? And as a backup, that's your job. It's like when your number's called, you've got to be ready. And we see that in the NFL, that your main job is support the number one, but when your number's called, we need you to not turn the ball over and potentially go get us a win. If you can't do that, then we've got to go get another guy. And so it's no shock that Lane has another quarterback in his arsenal. I'm sure he probably could have gone to the third string guy and it'll look the same as well. So
it's pretty amazing. We saw it last year when Jackson Dart got hurt.
He's a whisperer.
Yes. Yeah. He is. Yeah. Hey, CJ, we know you're busy joining us from the nation's capital this morning, and we always appreciate the time you give us each and every Wednesday, my friend. Have a great week. Thank you so much. We'll talk again next Wednesday.
Yeah, apologies if there's been any chaos in the background, but it's always a pleasure, and I look forward to it every week.
It's Washington, D.C. We expect chaos.
Yeah.
Thanks a bunch.
That's exactly right. See you guys. Have a good week.
Buddy. You too, my man. Thank you so much. CJ Duncan joining us from the nation's capital this morning. Great insight. As always, really appreciate his time, part of the Yellowhammer News family. Really appreciate that.
Yep. Good stuff. He's talking with us and he's saying, "Hey, how you doing over there? Hey, so he's moving and shaking, and we do appreciate the time that he gives us. Coming up, more of Longshore and McKnight, including the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Longshore and McKnight is in association with Yellowhammer News, and it's presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust. Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here today on the program. I got to come clean. You know, if I maybe thought something that hasn't played out or panned out as I thought, I'll own it. I'm one of the guys. Now, I didn't go to practice and say this team's going to win the national title. I didn't go that far. I certainly said, whoa, let's wait and see what, you know, we're dealing with here. I want to see it with my own two eyes. I've heard about it. I want to see it. We saw it in Tallahassee. But I did toot the South Carolina horn. They still might be pretty good, but they don't look good to me right now.
Well,
they got a
Lenora Sellers
issue,
getting hurt.
and they got blown out at home the other day. So I'm off to South Carolina. Texas, I said, yeah, they'll be in Atlanta to play for the SEC title. Still could be the case. They've yet to play an SEC team, but they got to play better. Florida, I kind of went, yeah, okay, they might be okay. Nah, they're not going to be any good. I had Clemson as a team that I thought would go play for the national title. I guess they still can. It doesn't look like they are, though.
Not the way they're playing. They're not.
No, doesn't look like they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, even though they're 0-2, said they'd make the playoffs, and I still think they can.
Yeah, I don't know that they go 10-2, but I think 9-3.
They're gonna make it.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of, all summer and preseason camp and all this stuff we were hearing, and I was one of them. Not every team, but a lot of them, and it's just not playing out that way 25% through the season. But we'll see. On another note, when we start talking about teams that make the playoff and ESPN constantly promoting the playoff, which they're paying a ton of money for, that's part of it. And if you're one of the best teams out there and you're ranked in the top 15, you're going to be talked about a team to make the playoff. And this has been going on for years and years and years. Somebody out there doesn't like that. It doesn't like the constant promotion of the playoff and the teams that are vying to get one of those 12 spots or in a position to get one of those 12 spots.
I've got my little armband, and all of a sudden it's Philip Marshall. The censor's going crazy.
Covers was in the conversation. Would it be okay then? If we were constantly hearing about the playoff and this one team was always being mentioned as a playoff team, would it be okay then? But now that they aren't or never have been, I'm tired of hearing about the playoff. They overexpose it. Don't want to hear about it in the month of September. Way too early. Well, maybe if your team was being talked about, it wouldn't be early enough. Just my thought.
I like it. Again, for anybody who doesn't know John, we almost made it through an entire show without his reference to Philip Marshall, college football writer for AuburnUndercover.com. I can't tell you how many times he's dragged me kicking and screaming into a Philip Marshall conversation. I didn't read him hardly at all. John reads him religiously.
Well, I wouldn't. I pick and choose what I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't read it all, but that caught my attention today. So, I've read it before. What's the big deal with the playoff promotion? I don't have any problem with it.
Yep. If you're in the top 15 or something like that, then you'll be in.
Was it okay, Barry, when the newest Star Wars movie was coming out and they showed the trailer 6 months before the release date? Is that okay? Sure it is. You get excited. Oh, wow, man, the new Star Wars movie's coming out. Man, can't wait. When's it coming out? Well, not till next June, but hey, it's coming out.
Promotion and all of that, that is a part of it. So at that time, SMU last year was a top 15 team, won a lot of games.
Yeah, they did.
At that time, Boise State was a top 15 team. They were a 3 seed in the college football playoff. Now people will say, by those same measurements, they didn't belong. Didn't belong. I mean, well, why didn't they belong? Well, they lost their games. Well, everybody in the college football playoff lost their games except for one team. Well, I mean, it's Boise. And for John, if he is a debate judge, he's going, point to them. It is, after all, just Boise. It's SMU. Got to give you another point for that one. Yes, that is a very good point. They did not belong. You crafted a very proper response as to why they did not belong, because they're SMU.
Well, I don't want to go that far, Barry, but I do think the College Football Playoff Committee in, kind of a roundabout way said, we don't want SMU. We don't want Boise, Indiana, So how do we avoid them getting in? We're going to put a bigger emphasis on schedule strength. Yeah, we're going to change things around a little bit. Maybe alter the rules from one year to the next. Now, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a great idea. But that's what they're saying. I mean, they're not going to flat out say Indiana in the playoff. Are you kidding me? Or the networks are saying that. So they tweak it, adjust it, alter it to, make it more favorable for other schools. And I think you know what other schools I'm talking about. Like Bob from Pike Road. Bob, I promise you, we're going to keep this chat. Notre Dame makes the playoff if they're 9-3.
That's easy money. That's easy, Bob. Yes. But Bob says strength of schedule just doesn't measure up. Strength of all right. Full disclosure, Bob, I agree with you. We actually talked about that in the last hour. I mean, Notre Dame's schedule, woof.
Yeah.
Stanford, Syracuse, Pitt, and Navy, and Boston College in the month of November.
Come on.
Yeah, we get that. But if we were talking about Muskingum, or we were talking about Slippery Rock or something, that's a good point. But the point is that it's Notre Dame. If you got 2 losses, both of them against top 10 teams, both of them by less than a score, they're Notre Dame.
They're Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They're in, Bob. 9-3. Book it. Mark it. Copy, paste, whatever you do.
That's easy. That's easy. Yeah.
All right.
So there you go. When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay, about 8 minutes to the top of the hour. It is the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We do it each and every day at this time slot. New colors on the wheel, if you've noticed. I certainly have. We have kind of a somewhat Tennessee orange. I'm not sure why that made the color panel, but it's all autumn color.
Couple of quick texts from my VIP line really quick. I know that Robert Kahn, they said Dr. Kahn. I noticed Robert Kahn was talking about the Iliac Crest. Wasn't that a song by Nina Cherry? No, that was called Buffalo Stance. That's one of my wife's favorites. Iliac Crest. Also, can you tell me why the Phantom hasn't picked yet in the Phantom's Daily Dog in the WNBA playoffs? The Liberty is up 1-0 in their quarterfinal series against the Mercury tonight, and the Lynx and the Valkyries will play late tonight. Did the Phantom have anything on those?
Can I just be completely honest with our audience here, which I always am?
Absolutely.
I couldn't tell you one team in the WNBA. Should I? I guess. I mean, it is my profession. Am I supposed to know the teams and the players? Maybe, but I really don't care. I haven't watched an NBA game.
I was about to say.
I was going to say 30
he's trying
seconds.
to think of some unit of time measurement, but it doesn't matter when the time is 0.
Yeah, I could care less. It is a money drain on the NBA. Right. I don't know why they feel like they've got to do it. If you didn't have the NBA supporting them, they wouldn't have a league. But that's fine. That's okay. And if that's what people want to go watch and they enjoy it, good for them.
All right.
It's just not my cup of tea. I don't even know who the teams are. Couldn't tell you.
Drink tea. But there we go. All right. We've got 6 minutes to get 6 topics.
Do you want me to pick a game on some teams I know nothing about? Certainly you don't. And people will say, well, you don't know anything about baseball. You've had a pretty good run.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell us anything about Sam Houston State, and you'd pick them if the line was right. Okay, here we go. CT is greater than TP is greater than WC.
Okay.
Cordell Tinch. Love that name. Cordell Tinch is a sprinter.
Yeah.
25-year-old, the 110-meter hurdles world champion for the USA.
Look at this guy.
This is all going on in Tokyo. Remember, Tokyo had the Olympics, but it was during COVID, so they let him have this.
The guy worked at a toilet paper factory?
He was their largest client was Auburn football.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say.
I wanted to beat you.
You ought to thank this guy for producing all that
TP. Salesman in Green Bay. Installed cable and worked in a toilet paper factory. He returned to Pittsburgh State on the track in 2023. They are the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. And evidently he's pretty good. I like that. All right. Okay. Yeah. Good for Cordell Tinch.
Hey, and Dewey, that's a good one on the chat line, the River Region Straw chat line. I wish I'd have thought that one up myself.
Hang on. Let me look. WNBA and Daily Dog. Are you talking about the players? Come on.
That's a good one, Dewey.
There we go. This is all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Miserable.
Ooh. Me and Jordan Hare Stadium at the anyway.
Miserable.
What we got here? Ooh.
Jonathan Kuminga with the Golden State Warriors. 3 years, $75 million. Who is this guy? 22 years old. He's absolutely miserable. It's a bad situation. Terrible situation. He was getting DNP CDs in the playoff, and if you don't know, that stands for did not play coach's decision. On your line score, I know that because I played, and that was almost my nickname on my high school basketball team, DNP CD, because that was always beside my name in the box score. Did not play coach's decision. So, yeah.
Well, who else's decision would it be? But I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're injured.
He didn't play. It was his decision. He didn't want to play. Coach said, McKnight, get in the game. Nah, I think I'm good.
No, it's McKnight's decision. 40 minutes, 24 points, 12 of 12 from the field. All right, so here we go. Back at it again. Let's keep on.
Let's see what we got. 4 more to go. That's an interesting color pattern there. I like that darker green, too. That's nice.
That is a good one. That's like forest green.
Mm-hmm. Like Forrest Gregg, former coach of the Bengals, I believe.
Yep, played for the Packers. Breaking the rule. Yep. This is John's topic right here. I'll leave him to this one himself. Cam Ward for the Titans. I think this is his first touchdown pass.
Man, he's scrambling around. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
He's got some legs. Ooh, look at that. Across his body? Wait a minute.
That's the break in the rule. John picked up on that immediately.
Man.
You're never supposed to throw back into the field across your body when you're on the sidelines.
He's going to catch that in film study. No, that's a backyard play, Barry. You get away with that in backyard football.
John knows quarterback play. Right here, you want to either throw it out of bounds or throw it to the sidelines. Instead, he spins, throws it about 35 yards the other way. Ball's in the air forever. That's where breaking the rule comes in. But
Don't
he got
do
the
that.
touchdown. He said, what?
He got lucky. Got lucky.
In that league, you ain't going to be lucky doing that.
No, you're not going to be lucky in the NFL. You got to be good. Barry, I'm wondering what those Rams defensive backs were doing. I mean, you got to kind of ask questions about them, too. In film
they knew the rule. They're thinking there ain't no way he's throwing it
I mean, I'm the Rams defensive coordinator. I'm going, what are you guys doing? I mean, two of you right there. Gee whiz, threw it 40 yards across the field.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Right. What do we got?
What do we got here? Do we see it?
Is it up on the screen? Yeah, I can see it. It's the orange one.
There we go. There we go. Tied up. Oh, do you want to tie me up with your ties? Tie?
You got some nice looking ties.
Who does your decorating?
Let's
Benny
head to the area.
Cal Raleigh, they call him the big dumper because his rear end is large.
Wow.
Catcher, switch hitter for the Mariners, making a lot of history. Cal Raleigh hit his 55th and 56th home runs of the season yesterday, passing Mickey Mantle for the most ever by a switch hitter, and tying Ken Griffey, who hit 56 one year for the Mariners for the most in team history. The Mariners have won 10 straight games, and the big dumper has a chance to match the American League record of 62 homers. He's right there. Okay.
I'm all in.
Good for the dumper.
Good for him. I like hearing that.
Okay.
Ooh, all right, let's spin away. 2 more to go. We'll get them in. We will get them in. That's another interesting color combination right there.
Doesn't match.
No,
redheaded people should never wear bright red.
No, you're right.
The bees.
Oh, Rich Rod. Huh.
Rich Rod, West Virginia beat Pitt. Great game at the end. Rolled into Applebee's. It ain't Waffle House, but I'm telling you, Rich Rod, if you were around here and you were still the head coach at Alabama, you wouldn't get away with this. If you celebrated at a certain restaurant after a big win, everybody would wear that reference out for the rest of your life.
It depends on what kind of restaurant you're going to.
Waffle
House. Applebee's, like frozen chicken nuggets that they put some sauce over. Come on, Rich. You can do
Rodriguez said he never eats before games, so he went all day without food. How can you do that? How can you make solid decisions on the sidelines as a head football coach without anything
Got to have some nutrition, Rich.
Come on, Rich.
Yeah, you got to energize.
Jeez, talking about
I can't tell you the last time I've been in an Applebee's.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean,
Applebee's
I have no
has
clue.
got
I
it
couldn't
going
tell
on.
you the last time.
Yeah.
All right,
One
last panel. Let's spin it away to make it official on this Wednesday.
Blurred Lines. That's a song by Robin Thicke, right?
Ah.
Blurred Lines. Oh, yeah. He is a part owner of the Raiders, but he is the number one analyst for Fox.
Okay.
That is the definition of a conflict of interest.
How's he going to get around that?
Because he's Tom Brady. You know, he's hanging in the box with the Raiders. He's not going to the production meetings. He's not going because if you're, I forget who the Raiders played last week. I watched a little bit of that one. If you're the head coach of the other team,
they played the Chargers.
Yeah. If you're the head coach of the other team, I ain't telling Tom Brady nothing about your plans for the Raiders, for the broadcast, which happens all the time. He's a part owner of the Raiders. Heck no, I ain't saying anything. It's totally wrong, but they get it through that because it's Tom Brady.
It's kind of like Mississippi State and the Cowbells. Just let them do it. So what? Big deal. All right, Barry, tomorrow, Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, will join us in the first hour of the program. And then, of course, the Tighter Insider Rodney Orr, sponsored by our friends at the Destin Connection Seafood Market, to kick off hour number 2.
Yep, we appreciate very much Robert Kahn, Phoenix Physical Therapy, CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, and all y'all over here. Appreciate you guys as well. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.